Svalbard, one of the last true wilderness areas on Earth, deep within the Arctic Circle. With rugged landscapes and more polar bears than people, Svalbard is known for its stunning beauty and unusual rules. From mandatory firearms for polar bear protection to a ban on cats to protect birds, life here is full of surprises. For those who dare to face the cold and isolation, Svalbard offers an adventure like no other. Ready for an unforgettable Arctic journey? Svalbard, the world's end where you can't die. Welcome to Svalbard, an archipelago so remote that it's often referred to as the end of the world. This icy paradise in the Arctic Circle is famous for its wild, untouched beauty, and it attracts adventurers who crave the thrill of something truly unique. But what's really fascinating? It's nearly impossible to die here. Yes, you heard that right. The permafrost in the ground keeps bodies from decomposing, so burials are actually discouraged. Imagine living in a place where endless night and constant danger are your daily companions. Could you handle it? Polar bears and firearms, staying safe in Svalbard. Now, here's something you probably didn't know. In Svalbard, you can't step outside of the main settlements without carrying a firearm. Why? Because polar bears are everywhere. Literally more of them than humans. Over 3,000 polar bears roam the region, and since they're powerful predators, anyone venturing out must be prepared. Whether it's a rifle or a flare, carrying protection is part of daily life. But don't worry, you won't be walking into a supermarket with a gun. They have strict rules about where you can take your firearms, and if you break these laws, expect some serious consequences. So, planning a visit? Make sure you're ready for the adventure and the unique safety measures. The endless daylight and darkness of Svalbard. Svalbard's extreme climate brings something magical yet challenging. Months of endless daylight followed by months of total darkness. From April to August, the sun never sets. It's surreal and absolutely mesmerizing, perfect for travelers seeking to experience the midnight sun. But come October, the tables turn, and Svalbard plunges into the polar night, where darkness covers the land 24/7 until February. It's the ultimate test of endurance, both mentally and physically. But there's a silver lining. This is the best time to see the incredible northern lights dancing across the sky. This land is not for the faint of heart, but the rewards are breathtaking for those who can handle the extremes. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, safeguarding humanity's future. Imagine a vault hidden deep within the icy mountains of Spitsbergen, designed to preserve the very future of humanity's food supply. This is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, also known as the Doomsday Vault. Built in 2018 for a cool $9 million and managed by Crop Trust, this ultra-secure facility holds over 1 million seed samples from all over the globe. But why is it so important? Well, it's built to withstand anything, from natural disasters to even a nuclear war. The vault's permafrost surroundings and advanced technology ensure that these seeds remain safe, stored at an optimal temperature for centuries. Think of it as humanity's insurance policy. If something catastrophic happens, these seeds will help restore the world's crops. How amazing is that? What's your take on this incredible project tucked away in the Arctic wilderness? Why dying in Svalbard is highly discouraged. Now, here's something truly bizarre. Dying in Svalbard is not technically illegal, but the authorities really don't want you to. Why? The permafrost that covers most of the land prevents bodies from decomposing naturally. In fact, people buried here 100 years ago, like those who died during the Spanish flu, are still remarkably well preserved. This raises concerns about ancient diseases re-emerging. Adding to the challenge, Svalbard doesn't have cremation facilities or proper burial grounds. That's why if someone is terminally ill, they're usually flown back to mainland Norway to spend their final days. The only cemetery on the island hasn't accepted new burials since the 1950s. Talk about life on the edge. Quite literally. No cats allowed, protecting Svalbard's ecosystem. Svalbard has some pretty strict rules when it comes to pets. And the most surprising of all, cats are completely banned. Yep, you heard that right. Since the 1920s, this rule has been in place to protect Svalbard's fragile ecosystem, particularly its bird population. Cats, being natural hunters, pose a huge threat to the native birds, which already have enough to contend with in such a harsh environment. As for dogs, they're allowed, but under strict conditions. Every dog on the island must be vaccinated against rabies, and visitors bringing their pets need to house them in special boarding facilities. Svalbard takes its wildlife protection seriously, and these pet regulations are a perfect example of how they balance human presence with the delicate Arctic environment. Svalbard, one of the safest places on Earth. You might think that a place as remote as Svalbard would be wild and unruly, but guess what? It's actually one of the safest places on the planet. With fewer than 3,000 residents, this tight-knit community knows how to take care of one another. Crime? Almost non-existent. In fact, most people don't even bother locking their doors. It's all about trust in Svalbard. The harsh environment also plays a big part. When you're facing freezing temperatures and extreme conditions, the last thing on your mind is committing a crime. And when trouble does happen, like in 2018 when Longyearbyen had its first armed robbery, the local authorities handle it swiftly. If you're looking for peace of mind in one of the most remote places on Earth, Svalbard is the place to be. The Kingdom of Glaciers, Svalbard's frozen marvels. If you love icy landscapes, Svalbard is the ultimate destination. Known as the Kingdom of Glaciers, this Arctic paradise boasts over 2,000 glaciers, each more breathtaking than the last. One of the largest is Austfona, a massive glacier on the island of Nordaustlandet, covering more than 8,000 square kilometers. That's about the size of Delaware. But Svalbard's glaciers are more than just scenic. They hold the secrets of Earth's past. Scientists dig deep into these glaciers, studying ice cores to understand the history of our climate and predict the changes ahead. It's like a giant, frozen time capsule waiting to be unlocked. So whether you're an adventurer looking to hike across ancient ice or a climate enthusiast, Svalbard's glaciers offer a unique and awe-inspiring experience. Ny-Ålesund, the world's most remote research hub. Now let's talk about Ny-Ålesund, one of the most isolated places on the planet. This tiny settlement, sitting at a staggering 78 degrees 56 north, used to be a bustling coal mining town. Today, it's transformed into a major research hub where scientists from all over the world gather to study Arctic climate change. With only about 35 people living here year-round, it's the perfect spot for some serious scientific discovery. What's even cooler? Ny-Ålesund is radio silent. That's right. No regular radios, no mobile phones. This rule protects sensitive research equipment, making this already remote place feel even more isolated. Yet, despite the isolation, it's a beacon of knowledge, where the latest in Arctic studies unfolds. Pretty fascinating, don't you think? Svalbard, a birdwatcher's paradise. When summer rolls around in Svalbard, it's like the Arctic tundra comes alive with wings. This frozen landscape transforms into a birdwatcher's dream as millions of migratory birds flock to the islands. We're talking seabirds, owls, falcons, and of course the famous Arctic terns. One of the best places to catch this amazing show is Isfjorden Bay, where thousands of these terns put on a spectacular display. If you're a bird lover, May and June are the perfect months to visit. Up to 3 million birds nest across the archipelago. Svalbard's rich bird life brings a burst of life to the stark wilderness, offering visitors a chance to witness nature in all its raw, untamed beauty. Imagine the sound of those wings cutting through the Arctic air. Unforgettable. Svalbard's Visafree policy, a true open-door community. Here's something that might surprise you. Svalbard is one of the few places on Earth where anyone can pack up and move without the hassle of a visa. Yep, it's true. Thanks to the Svalbard Treaty of 1920, people from any country can live and work here, no paperwork needed. But before you start planning your move, keep in mind that life in Svalbard isn't exactly easy. The climate is harsh, with long, cold winters and limited job opportunities. Most work revolves around mining, tourism, or scientific research, so unless you have some specialized skills, it might be tough to settle in. But for those ready to take on the challenge, Svalbard offers a rare sense of freedom and a chance to live in one of the most breathtaking, extreme environments on the planet. The challenge of living in perpetual darkness and daylight. Can you imagine living in a place where the sun doesn't set for 4 whole months, and then it disappears for another 4 months? That's life in Svalbard. During the summer, the midnight sun shines non-stop, lighting up the Arctic landscape 24/7. It's a magical time, especially for visitors. But when winter rolls in, the sun takes a long vacation, leaving the region in complete darkness. This extended polar night can be tough on both your body and mind. Without natural light, residents rely on artificial lighting and strict routines to stay healthy and sane. But for those who can adapt, Svalbard's extreme daylight cycle adds to the sense of adventure and wonder of living in such an extraordinary place. Think you could handle it? The fascinating history of coal mining in Svalbard. Did you know that coal mining played a huge part in shaping Svalbard's history? Back in the early 20th century, it was coal that brought workers to this remote Arctic wilderness. Entire settlements were established, and despite the harsh conditions, people braved the freezing temperatures to extract coal from the frozen ground. While coal mining isn't as prominent as it once was, it's still a significant part of Svalbard's economy today, with a few active mines still in operation. Visitors can dive into this unique history by touring the old mining towns, getting a glimpse of what life was like for those tough enough to work here. It's a reminder of the resilience required to survive in one of the world's most extreme environments. Climate change and Svalbard's melting glaciers. Svalbard's glaciers, which have stood tall for thousands of years, are now melting faster than ever, thanks to climate change. The impact is visible all around. These glaciers, once frozen solid, are now retreating at alarming rates, affecting everything from the wildlife that calls the Arctic home to the very ecosystems that depend on this frozen world. But it's not just about the melting ice. For scientists, these glaciers are a treasure trove of information, offering valuable data about Earth's past climate and hints about its future. Visitors can see firsthand the dramatic effects of global warming on Svalbard, making it a key location for understanding climate change's impact on the Arctic and beyond. Svalbard, a frozen frontier for the brave. Svalbard is more than just a place on a map. It's a testament to nature's power and humanity's will to adapt. From its towering glaciers that hold the secrets of Earth's climate history to its strict rules designed to protect the delicate balance of life here, Svalbard is a land of breathtaking beauty and raw survival. It's where polar bears roam, where the sun may not rise for months, and where those brave enough to visit leave with memories that last a lifetime. Whether you're coming for the midnight sun, the northern lights, or simply the thrill of exploring one of the world's last great wildernesses, Svalbard offers an adventure like no other. It's a place for those who seek the extraordinary, and for those who are willing to face the cold and the dark to discover the magic of this frozen frontier. Ready for your next Arctic adventure? As we conclude our exploration of Svalbard, it's clear that this frozen wilderness is not for the faint-hearted. Yet, for those with a love for adventure, Svalbard provides a glimpse into a world that most of us will never see. A world where human existence feels small against the vast, untamed forces of nature. If you're looking for a destination that challenges your spirit and captivates your imagination, Svalbard is the place to go. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this article, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more incredible travel adventures. Tell us in the comments which destination you'd like to explore next, and we'll see you in our next video.